Hi guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome to Richard in the Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to show y'all how I do, and the way my grandmother used to do, Cajun red beans and rice. It is so good. I'm going to make this tonight. I've got to work tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and pre-make it so I can have this to eat when I get home tonight. So let's go over the ingredients of what we're going to need here. Now what I've done is I've taken 1 pound of red beans. I rinsed them, sorted out all the bad little rocks and the bad beans, and put them in water, brought them to a boil, kind of a pre-soak method. They soaked overnight, and I'm ready to start adding the ingredients. So let's go over that. Now what I'm going to use to do this is, as far as this, just a little bit of chicken broth, some smoked paprika, some Cajun seasoning, salt and pepper of course, some scallions at the end, some white rice, and I like to put Rotel tomatoes and chilies in mine. It gives it just a little bit of bite, and some Vidalia or sweet onions. We also got about 4 or 5 strips of bacon here, 1 clove of garlic, and some Earl Campbell hot links that I'm going to put in there. Now I'm using the hot links and the bacon for fat. It really makes these beans taste great. You can use any kind of fat you want, some ham or ham hock or anything you want, but in this case I'm going to use sausage and bacon. So let's get the fat cooking. Okay, I've got this skillet preheated to about medium-high, maybe a little less. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our bacon to this hot skillet and get it cooked, as well as our sausage. And the sausage and this bacon mixed together creates a lot of good fat. It makes them beans taste great. So let's cook this bacon up. And like I said, I've already pre-soaked these beans here, so they're not going to take too long to do. I pre-soaked them for about 30-40 minutes, and they're not ready to eat yet, but in about another hour after we get all these seasonings in there, man, I tell you what, nothing better than red beans and rice. Now, when your fat, in this case Earl Campbell hot link and bacon, it's about 3/4 of the way done. We're going to add our garlic, because we don't want to burn our garlic. Then we're going to add our Vidalia onions to the mix so we can soften those and just give them a good mix until they're really softened. Then we'll start adding these things to the beans. Okay, our fat of bacon and our sausage is cooked pretty good. Our onions are cooked down. Now what we want to do is we want to add this to the beans. Reduce our heat to a little less than medium. And then we're going to add all this fat to these beans. And once we got that in there, give it a quick stir. And this is when I want to add just about a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. So I find that gives those beans a really good flavor. Stir it up a little bit. Hit it with a good pinch of salt. And I'm using ground pepper this time. I usually use black peppercorn, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to add a little bit of more seasonings to it. Our beans are boiling. At this time I'll add the Rotel tomatoes and chilies, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. And we'll give that a good stir. We'll reduce our heat to a little less than medium, and we're going to let these beans continue to cook for about 40-45 minutes before we finish these things off. That smells good. I wish y'all could smell that. Now after about 40-45 minutes, check your beans. If they're not as thick as you like them, just take you some beans out of there like that. Then you can take a spoon and you can just mash them up And I tell you, I don't like adding flour. I don't like the taste of flour really that much. But you can mash these beans up and you can pour them back in there. And that helps to thicken your sauce a little bit. Just a little trick my grandmother told me. My God, that's been a long time ago. Anyway, just pour them mashed beans back up in there. Give it a quick stir. And that'll help to thicken your bean sauce. And just for the purposes of this video, I don't normally do this, but just like I said, just for the purposes of this, if after mashing your beans you still don't have the thickness you like, add about a half a tablespoon of cornstarch. And stir that up in there. Let this continue to simmer. And I guarantee it will thicken your sauce. It'll smell good. Can't wait to eat them. Man, can y'all smell that? It smells good. Now, almost to the end of this thing, I like to add about a quarter stick of butter. It just kind of adds a richness to these beans. It makes them taste really good. So these beans been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. And it's almost time to eat. Right, our beans are done. Man, I tell you what, I've got a bowl of them with a little bit of white rice in there. Let's put these scallions in there for prettiness. Look at that. Y'all know I'm about pretty. Look what else I've done. I've done another video on how to make cast iron skillet cornbread. I'm not going to go over that today. But look at that. Man, I tell you what, cast iron skillet cornbread, there ain't nothing better. Let's give this a taste test. Man, look at them red beans and sausage and bacon in there. That's good stuff. Hey, give this a try. I think what makes my red beans different is the rotel. It gives it just the right amount of bite. A little different than just cooking a pot of red beans with salt and pepper and things like that. So, all right, I'm gonna have me some red beans for lunch. Eat the rest of them tonight during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Go Stars! Until next time, remember, be nice to somebody. Might change their life and it'll make you feel good. Goodbye, y'all.